Obama is a completely controlled president. You know, that's become obvious. I know, like, they could say that about a lot of presidents. Got to answer to a lot of people. I should think Bill Clinton was a pretty much controlled president too, but you know, Obama takes it for, you know, being controlled by the powers that be behind the scenes. You know, this is Joan Rivers now, and now that she's died, it's become far, far more suspicious to me what she said about President Barack Obama, that his wife is a tranny and he's gay and all that, because now she's dead, and the circumstances of her death was not, I can't really call it accidental in my mind, because she had a procedure. The procedure that killed her was a biopsy on her throat, with something which was something that she did not sign off on, and it was performed by a person that did not even work or was authorized to work in a medical facility. It was somebody she brought in, that what was in with her in her entourage or something like that, but he was not authorized to work to do any medical procedures in the facility she was in. She did not just sign off on that procedure, and she was supposed to have a minor procedure to help with the raspiness of her throat, of her voice, and he did a biopsy on her throat, and that's what closed up the airway. He was not authorized to do that. He was not authorized by the hospital. He was not authorized by her to do that procedure or anything, and that's what closed up the air passageway and killed her. And and when she stated that Obama was, we already have a gay president, and that Michelle Obama was a transsexual or whatever, she did not do it in a vindictive way. She just stated as, get over it. You know, we already have a gay president. We already have a transsexual in the White House. It's the first lady, and you know, that's just how it is. You know, get over it. She wasn't even against it. She performs gay weddings and stuff. So I want to look into a little bit more about, you know, well, not so much on Michelle Obama, because actually there's videos on YouTube that examine the body proportions. You know, I mean, she does look like a woman, but I mean, if you examine other things, you know, Adam's apple revealed was one of them. But you know, I'm not going to get into all this. But you know, the other thing is, you know, when she died, Joan Rivers died, President Barack Obama actually sent a note to Melissa Rivers that, you know, she made us laugh and she made us think. And I'm thinking, yeah, she did make us think, because she made us think that, you know, what's going on in the White House. But, well, the thing is, actually, if you want to actually be very open-minded, liberal-minded, whatever, you should not be an issue what the president is, if he's gay or not, or whatever. Well, if you want to think that way. But the thing is, if you want to really say what's wrong with the whole issue, is this: it's that the policies of the White House are kissing up to some of the most brutal dictatorships on this earth, being the Chinese elite, being one of them, and their policies against the freedoms of individuals would go against everything that the liberals even talk about, you know, pro-gay rights or whatever, transgender rights or whatever. So it's hypocrisy at the max, right? So if you even want to like be open-minded and say, okay, well, Obama's gay and the first lady is a transgender or whatever, but their policies are basically pro-Chinese elite, which is against individual rights. And I think they did, or not, maybe not Obama personally, but the powers that be that are around him, that are protecting him, shut up Joan Rivers. That's what I think. You know, I think the same situation even happened with Bill Clinton. When Bill Clinton, you know, maybe it wasn't him personally, but it was the people around him and all that type of stuff. They wanted to keep him in power. But, you know, I want to examine the children, and there's a lot to be said. You know, like I said, there's no real serious information on the backgrounds of the Obamas, the children too much, their families and everything. Now, I do know, though, you know, they say there's no pictures of when they were born exactly, but they they do go back pretty far. I mean, it's not like they were adopted when they're 5, 6, 7 years old. If they were adopted, it was maybe one was 2 years old, the one was basically an infant. And even if they were adopted, and that's really what happened, I don't think they would even know they were adopted. How's that? They wouldn't even know it. So, but anyway, this is Obama's transgender nanny. Obama had a transgender nanny when he was growing up in Indonesia. Now, that's not a rumor. That's actually on all the major media. It's on like ABC, Associated Press. They interview her today. She's like totally forgotten. In Indonesia, they call her a piece of scum because she's a transgender. Now, this is how she looked back then when she was the nanny of Obama when he was like 8 years old. But, if you start figuring this out, that probably had a psychological impression on him. So, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you for a fact. But, it seems hypocritical of Obama that's so pro-gay and all this other garbage that he just totally ignores this woman like, she's nothing, hey, I'm the president now, so to hell with you, right? Which is more hypocrisy. And, so he's not going to really care about where he comes from or what his roots are or whatever. He's only sucking up to some people on the top, and he's got an image out, and his main supporters are just people to be used. That's really what it is. Because if he threw her, the transgender nanny, who basically is not a bad person or anything like that. I mean, I'd say she's a bad person. She was actually hired because she was a very good cook and all this type of stuff, and she did a very good job and all this. So he's ignoring the issue because it's like not good for him politically. So he'll ignore any of his other roots too. That's really what I get to across because, some people think, he's a black president, but he's a half black and half white president actually. But the thing is, he doesn't really care about anybody or anybody on the bottom. It's a matter of he's looking out for number one. And he's answering to the guys that basically he's doing a bidding for through like healthcare, which actually the healthcare system is going to be one thing where it's going to be complete and total control of the population. They ain't handing you nothing, man. They're not handing you anything at all. That's all that's going on. But the children pictures actually do go back pretty far. Now, if they were adopted, I personally, I'm really leaning to the fact, not to the, well, I can't say it's conjecture, right? I'm thinking they were adopted because these things aren't adding up with Michelle Obama. Down and really putting two and two together, and I never really thought about this. I saw the videos on YouTube, but then now the thing with I knew about the transgender nanny from before. I knew about the gay rumors with Obama before. I knew about other issues with him, and then I heard what Joan Rivers said, and she wasn't saying it as a joke. I mean, she was saying it like, just get over it. That's the way it is. But then she's dead, and in circumstances she died, it wasn't the one, like I said, the one that did the procedure on the throat he was not authorized to do that biopsy. That was not part of what was supposed to be done. He was somebody that didn't even work there in a medical facility. He wasn't even authorized to do the procedures in that facility. And then she died specifically because of what he did. I don't know how that's all going to play out, but something's really fishy there. And I think it's because of what she said. But, if you look back, the children themselves probably wouldn't even know if they were adopted. They were adopted because, look at the ages. This is like probably the earliest photo you could possibly find. I know some people think these are early photos, but they're not. They're actually much earlier. So, but by comparison, if we want to go back to like Bill Clinton, for instance, Bill Clinton, back at a time when he was president, there were people saying, "Oh, he has a half brother and all this." People are getting really judgmental to the max. His father actually died. He was actually William Jefferson Bill Blythe III, and his stepfather, his biological father, died in a car accident. He was, his biological father was a real stand-up guy, from what I'm reading here. That he was an Arkansas salesman of heavy equipment, and I think he was in World War II. And he was driving home. He had a blowout on his tire, lost control of the car, and he was thrown into a drainage ditch, and he died by drowning. So, but the stepfather always remembered the the biological father, and actually said a lot about good things about him, even in his bibliography. So, but you do know a lot about Bill Clinton. I mean, you could say, I know some of the religious were really getting after this guy because of some things they probably shouldn't have been worried about. I mean, there's other issues that you could get after him for, but there's other things that are beyond his control. But if you look back at the ancestry of Bill Clinton, it goes all the way back. I mean, there's you could trace it. You know everything about him. You know everything about the wife, Hillary Rodham Clinton. I'm not saying they're good people or not. I'm just saying that everything about them all the way back. It goes to the grandparents, the great grandparents, the great great grandparents, and everything. Not everything, but Irish kind of figures in his case. Kind of a party boy, good old boy. Yeah, that would make sense. The Irish in there, but anyway. But you don't know that much about Barack Obama or Michelle Obama or the family. Now, you do know about Barack Obama's mother and father, but that's about it. You don't know much about the children. You don't know much about the president's schooling or anything else like that. So, and here's the nanny today. She's changed quite a bit. She looks more like masculine, of course, but I don't know what the deal was back before. She looked like a woman in that other picture, but the other picture was from the time that he was 8 years old. But she, it's proven she was the actual nanny for Barack Obama. Now that kind of could make a little more sense when you start seeing about his upbringing and why he maybe gravitated to a transgender. I don't know. I really don't know. But I guess that's not the whole issue. The whole issue is that, he throws her to the wolves, basically. She's like a forgotten woman. It doesn't matter that, she's being ostracized and picked on in Indonesia. She's proud that she raised Barack Obama, but he's like, the hell with you, And that's basically the way I see this guy is going to be with anybody that supports him. People that actually think this guy is going to do them a favor, he's not. Because what he's out for is number one. And he's answering to the people that are the real power. And he's playing the people that are his supporters. That's really what's going on. Now, this lady, I think, told the truth big time when she said he was gay and Michelle Obama was a transgender. But I guess that's not the real issue here. The real issue is that Barack Obama is basically using his supporters, and he's playing up to the people that have actually put him in power. Now, one thing though, it's like this. It's like this is from a couple years ago. White House is hoping the gay issue will simply go away. Now, there was a lot about with Larry Sinclair. You probably heard that name before if you want to look that up. But you talk about all the decades that he was with, these rumors with Larry Sinclair, Cal Penn, Reggae Bodyman Love, Man's Country, Jeremiah's Rights Down Low Club, and the many men Barack Obama has been with through the years. In other words, he's like gay all the way. You know what I mean? So if you follow Barack Hussein's meteoric rise to power, you've noticed that anybody asking questions about his background typically finds himself, that he's this, he's that, or he's a racist, But the thing is, with Obama, it's like he's playing the people that are his supporters, and he is only sucking up to the power that's given him the most green or the most prestige or the most power. and he's just playing the people that are his supporters. But there is a lot of many mysteries around him about missing years and other activities while he's in college. And the big issue is with Barack Obama is that despite the image he portrays, he's basically a diehard communist. And a diehard communist is definitely in with the elite all the way. I mean, I don't know how to put this, man. I'm not trying to like pick on a guy, even if it was like what Joan Rivers said was all 100% true. Say it was true. I'm not even going to pick on a guy for that. What I'm saying is he's playing up to the powers that be. He's only interested in himself, and he's playing the people that are his supporters. His supporters will wind up in the same situation as that nanny wound up in Indonesia over here. Same kind of situation. Totally like forgotten, destitute, the hell with you. You know, he's up there in his ivory tower. He doesn't give a damn. And that's exactly what he's going to do with his supporters. He's going to throw them under the bus. That's what I don't like about this guy, man. So, I mean, that's not, and let me put it to you this way, that's kind of like common amongst a lot of people on the top. Not just him. But he's another one. He ain't nothing special. Let me put it to you that way. So, I'm kind of pissed off at the fact that Joan Rivers is dead. And I'm like, bullshit. There's something fishy going on here, big time. Because I want to repeat that again for the third time. The person that did the operation, that was the biopsy, that biopsy was not what was supposed to be done. She had the procedure to fix her raspiness in her throat. The biopsy was something else. She did not sign off on that. That's a biggie. Number two, that guy was not authorized by that medical facility that she was in to even do the procedure in that medical facility. So I don't know how the hell that happened. And she died because of that specifically. As soon as he did that biopsy, her throat closed up. So he must have done something really weird, right? And what? After she said, Obama was gay and Michelle Obama was a transgender? I don't know. That's fishy as all hell to me, man. So, anyway, I just want to tell you that if you're a supporter of Obama, you're going to probably wind up like the nanny. Because, if the situation is where people ostracize you and don't like you or whatever, because that's what happened with the nanny in Indonesia. Like she's transgender. She's like the bad person, even though she's probably a really good person because she got hired by the Obamas back, long many decades ago to do the cooking and all the stuff. She did a really good job. But, because she's transgender, she's no good. Well, here's gay rights Obama. He don't give a damn about her. That's what he's going to do to his supporters. That's why I don't like this guy.